The indications are that Kerry will play from left to right in the first half, and they would be playing against the wind. Well, a chance to check on the teams then for this 108th All-Ireland football final. Kerry make two changes from the side that beat Cavan in the semi-final. Killian Burns gets the go-ahead to reclaim the right corner back slot from Sean Burke. Perhaps the real loser here is captain Mike Hassett. His brother Liam now skippers the kingdom, who also have an alteration among their forwards. Billy O'Shea gets to start in place of Brian Clark. It means that Dara O'Kinada now leads the attack, with O'Shea to his right and Maurice Fitzgerald to his left. And the flares are going off up on the canal end, where there are thousands upon thousands of Kerry people, with a couple of refugees from Mayo in there as well. This is the Mayo team. Mayo needed a boost up front after the semi-final against Offaly, where they put 17 wides to the right and to the left of the post. The axe has fallen on James Horan, remembered for scoring 8 points in last year's 2 finals. John Casey gets the call-up, having sat out the entire clash with the Leinster champions. David Heaney gets a second championship call-up in midfield, alongside the very much informed Pat Fallon, while David Nestor is selected on the wing this time, with Maurice Sheridan picked there to play at right half forward. The referee then in 32 was Martin O'Neill, and that same Martin O'Neill also refereed the historic 1947 final in New York between Cavan and Kerry. And we mentioned the rematch 50 years on. It can be seen live on this channel on October the 18th, live from Downing Stadium, New York. Along came Cavan and Offaly, Kildare and Clare and Sligo, and it wasn't just about the Dublins and Meath or Cork and Kerry or Mayo and Galway or Tyrone and Derry for that matter. Kerry looking for their 31st ever championship win. 11 years since they brought the Sam Maguire back. Well, if they bring it back tomorrow, it'll be by air. They're not taking the train back. Mayo trying to bridge a gap of 46 years. Maurice Fitzgerald, can he deliver on this huge occasion, playing in his 27th championship match, and a man who got 7 points against Cavan. Liam Hassett there continuing to lead the way, no doubt very much disappointed that his brother Mike isn't part of the 15 as well. So Mayo break away. His son William in midfield for Paudie O'Shea's team. What an occasion.
Well, the expected change has taken place in the Mayo full back line. Pat Holmes has gone out to take Maurice Fitzgerald, and Kenneth Mortimer, who played so well on Dara O'Kinada in last year's semi-final, has again gone into full back to mark him. Kerry at the moment have left their half back line, the same Seamus Moynihan as of now playing at right half back, and Liam Flaherty in the middle and Colin McManaman.
From Wexford, his linesmen, Brian Crowe from Cavan and Pat Casserly from Westmeath. And the Bank of Ireland All-Ireland final is underway. And straight away it's James Nallen leading it back there towards David Heaney. The youngster, precocious youngster, still coming forward. Mayo trying to make the better start here, and Brian White right on the spot. Going to throw the ball between two. Dara O'Shea preparing to go in there against Liam McHale. Liam, who's 6'5". Scrambled and eventually picked up by Liam Flaherty. Now to the outside, William Kirby trying to make some headway. Dennis Dwyer leading inside there towards Liam Hassett, the man on the 40. Cross towards Parlade. remembered this season for that wonder goal he got in the Munster final against Clare. Laid against Canally. The angle shot towards Maurice Fitzgerald. Dwyer is there as well. Back it comes towards Darragh O'Shea. An easy one in the end there, which is picked up by Peter Burke. He's had a good campaign so far. His defence has done very well in front of him. A little push there as Maurice Sheridan was coming to try and take that. The referee indicting Eamon Breen. Free to Mayo. Sheridan the taker. Towards Liam McHale, came off his knees, came back towards Darragh O'Shea, stepping away from trouble. Parlade. Player of great pace if he can get enough possession to take it at the defence. Billy O'Shea, marked by Dermot Flanagan. Over the head of Nallen, collected here by Kenneth Mortimer. Good positioning by the number 2. Pat Fallon, having a wonderful season. Down to David Nestor, that's a wonderful kick. Nestor popping up at right corner forward. Going close alongside him there is John Casey, trying to get inside. A good-looking shot, but it's just gone to the left. Chance falling to David Nestor. Young teacher based here in Dublin. So Nestor is top of the right. MacDonald has gone in, it seems more like full forward, and McHale is operating to the left of them. And Dermot Flanagan may be in some trouble. He was a real doubt and he's feeling the left leg. He damaged it in a match about 10 days ago against the Army, and I think he has maybe tweaked the hamstring. And that is very serious. Frank Davies, the team doctor, is going back again to try and take up his defensive duties on Billy O'Shea, but he was calling for help there, no doubt about that.
That would be a big problem for Mayo, because they're not as well fixed in the subs with backs as probably Kerry are, especially with Kevin Cahill out.
John Casey is actually one of those players who could come back and do a decent job. Eamon Breen, players calling for it. Darragh O'Shea is one of them. 3 minutes gone and not a score on the board so far. Billy O'Shea denied possession there by Dermot Flanagan. James Nallen. Now Noel Kennelly. Challenge there from William Kirby. Mortimer back to Pat Holmes, going long this time. Towards MacDonald, breaking it down, but there are 3 Kerry players there. That was nicely in there by Killian Burns. The kick ahead there by William Kirby. O'Shea back to Parlade. Hassett has just moved ahead of him to the right. Lade going for the score himself. Big cheer up on the canal end, and why not? Kerry have taken the lead. And it's Parlade who's got it. So a great start for Parlade. And Flanagan is still in real trouble, and I think he may be forced off. Dermot Flanagan walking off the field there with referee Brian White alongside him. I must say I was surprised when he came out and there wasn't any strapping on the leg, because the rumours had been doing the circuit. We're seeing James Horan about to come on, so Flanagan is gone, and he lasted just about 4 minutes. Colin McMenamin is going back towards midfield. We'll see what changes they make. Peter Burke waiting to take the kick out. Fallon trying to break that one down. Flaherty has it instead. They brought back Fergal Costello, I can tell you, to pick up Billy O'Shea. Costello has gone from right half back to left corner back, and Heaney has gone back to right half. So switch has already been forced on the Mayo mentors. Kerry coming again. Liam Hassett, their captain today, against James Nallen. Trying to pick out William Kirby. Pass a little bit slack. Horan was in there to intervene. O'Shea has it again. Nephew of Paudy, of course. Son of Mihal, kicking and scoring. Darragh O'Shea getting a second point for Kerry. And they're already very pleased up there on the canal end, and indeed wherever Kerry fans are right around Croke Park. It's Kerry 2, Mayo no score. And this is the man who's gone back. Fergal Costello gone back to left corner back, where he's marking Billy O'Shea. Colin McMenamin has gone into centre half back at this stage. And we'll just see what happens as the game settles down a bit.
Well, I think
he's a very mobile player.
I think Colin McManaman is at centre field, and David Heaney gone to right half back, and Fergie Costello. So wholesale changes really in the Mayo setup. Very disruptive when you have to make that many changes just to accommodate. It'd be much better if you could bring in a corner back, but Mayo obviously feeling that they're not very well served with defenders, bringing in a forward and totally reshuffling their back line to accommodate one move.
They need a score here. 45 metres out. It's Maurice Sheridan kicking the free. Where does it land? Just to the right. He protests. He thought he was definitely in, but there aren't too many protests from the other Mayo players, I must say. He looked quite baffled indeed. This is the treatment that Dermot Flanagan is getting on the far side. The ice pack's on fairly quickly. So 35-year-old Dermot Flanagan, we were thinking that it might be his last major match in the Mayo colours, and he didn't really last much more than 4 minutes. Sheridan has picked up that loose ball. Kerry men going to him quickly, in towards MacDonald, over his head. Stack is his marker this afternoon. Killian Burns taking it out of the Kerry defence. Poor ball. Giving it away to David Heaney, who is playing at right half back now. James Horan trying to contest with that. Flaherty. Darragh O'Shea. Outside of the boot, towards the other Darragh O'Kineda. But going there first is Kenneth Mortimer. Mortimer taken to ground, free to Mayo. Into Pat Fallon quickly. Mayo looking for their first score in this final. Remember, they have the breeze at their backs. Casey kicking, but it's a wretched kick. He was under a little pressure, but he should have done a great deal better than that. 3 wides by Mayo already. Indeed, Colin was talking about the respective strength of the benches, and you look through the subs list of the Mayo team, and they have other players like Ronan Golding and Diarmuid Byrne who might come on. PJ Loftus, of course, as well. All of them forwards. Pat Fallon breaking it down. William Kirby, the one who's picking up a lot of loose ball around midfield. Eamon Breen to Pa Lade. Challenging him there was Noel Kennelly. Lade thundering forward. Got the first score in this match. Swung around, and referee says free to Kerry. Kicked in quickly towards O'Dwyer. The breaking ball there picked up by Mortimer. Now James Nallen out to Colin McManaman, very much the roving centre half forward. Nallen has kept moving forward. Good possession. Mayo trying to construct a scoring chance here. It's MacDonald kicking, and again he's put it to the right. It was their major flaw after the semi-final, of course, and we mentioned those 17 wides, which must have annoyed John Maughan here and his fellow selectors. Having a chat there with Tommy O'Malley. Peter Ford is another selector, and of course Seamus Rogers, the team trainer.
Yes, Ger, that's 4 wide so far. John Casey is now going into left corner forward and has drawn back Seamus Moynihan into the right corner back position, which wouldn't suit Kerry.
That's going to be a free to Kerry. Liam Hassett, marking was very poor. Nallen was standing back from him. Inside towards Billy O'Shea. But a very good run on that, ahead of Costello. The block is by Pat Fallon. It's O'Shea again coming forward, needing support. William Kirby, hefty shoulder there from Noel Kennelly, and the referee in the end says you were putting the boot in there as the player was going down to take possession. Billy O'Shea, the Kerryman, involved, and the Mayo player who fouled was David Heaney.
Not 10 minutes gone, but Pa Lade and Billy O'Shea both having the better of their men on the right side of the Kerry attack, and a lot of the play developing on that side. Pa Lade has won everything off Noel Kennelly. Billy O'Shea has had the speed to get out in front of Dermot Flanagan. I suppose maybe that's the reason why the hamstring went, because Flanagan was under real pressure to stay with him.
Maurice Fitzgerald kicking the free, and that's another one. Maurice is first, but it's a third for Kerry, and they've made much the better start. 27-year-old teacher from Cahersiveen. 3 points for Kerry, no score for Mayo.
And a great block by Pat Fallon, getting back into defence as he normally does, but Billy O'Shea very fast, picking it up again.
The kick out, and Darragh O'Shea breaking it down. Dennis O'Dwyer, who had that very hefty knock in the semi-final, which forced him out. Here he is again, knocking it forward towards Hassett, but that was always going to be the defender's ball. Pat Holmes, the player in question there. That's David Heaney. Free to Mayo. The Connacht champions really needing a score. Towards Kieran MacDonald. It was being held back there by Stephen Stack. And coming across to take the free will be Maurice Sheridan, and Paudie must be very pleased with the start that his team has made. And I mentioned in the semi-final how difficult a kick this is for a right-footed kicker coming in from just about 12 metres or so in from the far sideline.
Yes, I was surprised in the semi-final that they didn't allow Kieran MacDonald to shoot with his left foot. Maybe the fact that he's kicked one wide so far is part of the reason, but it's a difficult kick for Maurice Sheridan to have to start with.
It's about 30 metres out. Light breeze behind him. One that Mayo need. Away to the left this time. And Kerry win it back again, strong in defence. And there was some holding by McHale. It'll be a free out for the Kingdom. His marker there at the moment is Barry O'Shea, player who played under 21 championship this year. So great first season he's having. Peter Ford there alongside John Mahon. Declan O'Keefe with the free. Hassett leaving it there this time. It's Pat Fallon who was up first for it. Now Colin McMenamin. Punted ahead well. Casey taking up a good position. John Casey still, and is hauled down, and it'll be a free from the 30-metre line. Seamus Moynihan there having a word or two with the referee. Seamus rated one of the very best footballers in the game at the moment. John Casey and Seamus Moynihan know one another very, very well from Sigerson Cup football with Tralee RTC. This should be point number one for Mayo. MacDonald the kicker. And he's put it wide. Almost inexplicable. 13 minutes gone. They're having a very, very tough spell.
Terrible start by Mayo. Something similar to what they had against Offaly. But the wind has died down, as can you see with the kick-outs. They're coming right into the middle of the field.
Sheridan again. Green was trying to kick that ball ahead. James Nallen, very assured play at centre half back as always. Out there first for the goal was Barry O'Shea. Good full back play. Now the centre half, Liam O'Flaherty. Flaherty towards Darrow Kineda. Trying to engineer another score for the Kingdom. Still O'Kineda. Two men on him. Still Darrow Kineda, but he stumbles, parlayed into help. Maurice Fitzgerald available as well. Tight situation, he needs assistance. Fitzgerald across the face of goal towards O'Dwyer. Pat Fallon had gone back, the Mayo midfielder. Here's Colin McMenamin spotting that James Horan was free in space. Kieran MacDonald trying to get first run on this against Stephen Stack. The Kerry man triumphant, however. Nallen once again. Over the head of McHale. Seamus Moynihan back there, minding the house. Always so very steady in his approach. This is Liam Hassett. In towards Maurice Fitzgerald, but Pat Holmes there instead. Now the other Pat Fallon. Trying to get this Mayo team going. Push in the back that time. Guilty party was Killian Burns. David Nestor, the player who was pushed, free taken by Pat Fallon. Now MacDonald. Awkward angle. Can they make it this time? They can. It's taken 15 minutes. Or has it? Well, the man on the left was certainly waving it over. And the referee has said, hang on, it wasn't a point. And he is flabbergasted. The man on the left-hand side definitely indicated that it should have been a point.
Well, Kieran MacDonald gets it on his left foot and does what every left-footed corner forward will do. Cuts back inside. Impossible to see from there whether it was over or not. A lot of unforced errors by both sides at the moment. Kerry in hand passing, Mayo in kicking.
So still no score there for Mayo. Flaherty kicking towards Billy O'Shea. Fergal Costello's alongside him. Punted ahead towards Darrow Kineda. O'Shea and Maurice Fitzgerald go for the same ball, and they foul it up between them. Pat Holmes leaving it there for Fergal Costello, trying to get it out in spite of the incessant pressure back there that the Kerry forwards are exerting. McMiniman, Nallen. Billy O'Shea is the player on the ground.
Obviously both players there on the Kerry side, Billy O'Shea and Maurice Fitzgerald, both shouted to leave it, ran into each other. Billy O'Shea suffering with his shoulder as a result.
Mayo with 7 scoring chances so far. This is the where it was Maurice Fitzgerald who collided there with Billy O'Shea, both going for the same ball. So it looks like a change is going to have to be made. A stretcher is being brought out for Billy O'Shea. That there is Aoife Nivuri, along with Dr. Dave Gainey, who is looking after the Kerry players.
Well, that would be a massive loss to Kerry, because Billy O'Shea has started brilliantly in that corner. And to have to go off injured as a result of getting a wallop from the opposition is bad enough, but to be sent off by getting a wallop from Maurice Fitzgerald is incredible. I would presume that they would try and stick with the same type of player and put in Michael Francis Russell, because the small, fast player has been paying dividends inside for Kerry.
The selectors are in conclave. And now a question of whether or not Frank Russell will be sprung this early from the bench. It is the logical switch if that is to be the case.
The other alternative, I suppose, is put Brian Clark in at full forward where he played in the championship and move Darrow Kineda to the corner. But if I was a Kerry man, I'd be putting in Michael Francis Russell.
So a couple of subs still warming up on the far side, and the selectors still keeping their powder dry, as it were, and retaining a number of options. John Crowley is certainly one player that could very easily come in. Incidentally, if Frank Russell comes on in this final, his dad, of course, before him was a Kerry player. Pat Spillane tells me that the first time he ever played in the Kerry colours back in 1973, I think it was, player he replaced was Francis Russell, Mike Frank's dad. So still the game has had to be held up here while attention is given to the unfortunate Billy O'Shea, and certainly it's the ankle which is causing the problem.
Yes, originally I thought it was the shoulder, but he obviously, I think Maurice Fitzgerald actually kicked him.
Oh, he connected, certainly, no doubt about that. They used to say, Colm, that training sessions are pretty tough in the build-up to an All-Ireland final, but it's most misfortunate when you clash with your own player, totally accidentally, going for the same ball.
Maurice was going to try and shoot for a point from that off the ground, and knowing him, I suppose it was possible. The main feature of the game so far, I think, has been Liam Hassett is playing a loose sort of role, and James Nallen isn't following him, and it's creating a lot of space up front for Kerry.
So let's call in our reporter on the far sideline, who's Marty Morrissey.
Well, observing here from the sideline, Ger, it seems that Paddy O'Shea has had a few words with John Crowley. Michael Francis Russell has returned to the substitute bench, and as John Crowley has gotten strict instructions as well from Seamus McGarrett. And now I can see Paddy O'Shea giving the final notification to Tony O'Keefe. And just as I have the opportunity, I can say that from our vantage point, the view seemed to suggest that Kieran MacDonald's shot was over the bar. There was no doubt, and lots of chat here in the Mayo dugout as well, that should have been a point for Mayo.
Yeah, I'm amazed, quite honestly, Marty, that didn't count, because definitely the umpire on the left-hand side said to the other man, raise the white flag. Didn't happen. Dermot Flanagan having to sit it out. Some of the other Mayo subs there as well. Nobody likes to see a player structured, or this will be the second player we'll have lost from the starting 30 because of injury. Dermot Flanagan the first, and now Billy O'Shea. Sympathetic applause from Kerry and Mayo fans. And this is how it came about. They were both going for the same ball, and Maurice Fitzgerald came in and connected with Billy O'Shea, and definitely it's the ankle, and let's hope it's not too serious. So John Crowley is the one who is getting the nod to come on, and on he is indeed. He's gone into full forward, and Maurice Fitzgerald's gone to top of the right. Darragh Kinnaid has gone to top of the left. Well, the game was held up for at least 4 minutes there. This is Darragh O'Shea trying to make some headway. Maurice Fitzgerald challenged by James Nallen, and the referee says he was being held back by Nallen. It's a free to Kerry, and Maurice Fitzgerald presumably will be the one who'll take it himself.
Yes, and probably will try and take it with his left foot. One of the few players who can kick off the ground accurately with both feet.
The applause you hear in the background is for Billy O'Shea going off to receive treatment.
Actually, he's the only player I have ever seen doing this in big games.
And he's equally adept at either foot. Player who won a long kick competition in Australia a few years ago. This is about 14 metres out, very acute angle. Looking for Kerry's 4th point at his own 2nd. He's measured it well, and he's put it over the bar. That's a brilliant kick by a brilliant footballer. 2 points for Maurice Fitzgerald. Kerry have made the dream start, and they lead by 4 points to 0.
Well, that's absolutely incredible. The most fantastic skill that you will ever see, a player who's able to do that off both feet. I'd say Maurice said to himself, this one is for Billy O'Shea.
So another kick out. And to date, Kerry's midfield possession from kick-outs, they've won 5 out of 7. Mayo have won 2 out of 3 of their kick-outs so far. It's a free to Mayo. Maurice Sheridan will take it, hoping to show that what one Maurice can do at one end, another Maurice can do at another. He's 0 from 2 from free so far, however. 46 metres out. MacDonald waiting for it inside. Alongside him, Stephen Stack. This is one that Mayo urgently require, and he can provide it at last after 23 minutes. Maurice Fitzgerald getting it with the free, and Mayo have something to cheer about. Well, he slipped to the ground soon after scoring that point there, but it was a wonderful kick, and it's 4 points to 1.
Great kick under pressure after missing a couple. Slipped to the ground all right, helped a little by Eamon Breen to go down and get up.
The kick to midfield, Kirby trying to take that one down, does so successfully. Eamon Breen outside to Darragh O'Shea. That point by Mayo should lift the Connacht champions. This is Costello, back to Kenneth Mortimer. They don't want to be seen as the team who couldn't win 3 All-Ireland finals in the space of 12 months. Mortimer taking it quickly. James Horan, one of the used substitutes so far, beyond Liam McHale, has been an anonymous figure so far in this match. Eamon Breen. The familiar pattern almost from the word go. Kerry very much in charge in most departments. Heaney now playing at right half back for Pat Fallon, who should have been his midfield partner, but for the switches they had to make. James Nallen linking up with James Horan. It's intricate. 45 metres out. Nestor making himself available. James Horan trying to swing it onto that left boot. Kerry got a goal last year in rather bizarre circumstances in the semi-final. MacDonald, who watched that match in a pub in Chicago. Horan again, and this time the referee says he held on far too long. And Kerry are delighted. They get the free kick. Taken quickly to Liam Hassett, who's playing very, very deep. Just in front of his own half-back line, in fact. Breen. This is the new man in, Johnny Crowley. Outside of the boot towards Maurice Fitzgerald. A great kick. And a lovely score. A third for Maurice Fitzgerald. He's such a commanding presence. on any Kerry team.
Well, in 30 seconds there, we see the contrast between both teams. Mayo getting into all sorts of trouble with it. A series of intricate hand passes. One ball up to Maurice Fitzgerald, turn and kick it over the bar.
65,601 have just seen him make it 5 points to 1. Peter Burke's kick out. Well, Mayo have always been good for a goal in the past. This is where Pat Fallon goes forward looking for something. Eamon Breen alongside him. Low across and there's nobody there for it. Killian Burns trying to take possession. Does so successfully. Warding off the attention there of David Nestor. Poor kick out, however. Mayo will have possession. Well, that was a real chance there with Pat Fallon breezing forward. Maurice Sheridan looking for another score. Lobbed in towards McHale and Declan O'Keefe is comfortably under it. Eamon Breen. Crowley breaking it down for somebody to come onto, but the only somebody there is James Nallon. Colin McMenamin having a look around to see what the options are. That's a poor kick, straight to Killian Burns, operating at left corner back. Seamus Moynihan knocking it away towards Maurice Fitzgerald. He got a touch onto that one. Crowley trying to come in here against Fergal Costa, but that time it wasn't a fair shoulder-to-shoulder charge. The referee Brian White decides, and it's going to be a free out for Fergal Costello and his Mayo colleagues.
I think he's lucky enough now to get a free there. Johnny Crowley went in with the purpose of hitting the shoulder to allow the ball run on. Mayo let off the hook there, but they're in big trouble up front. They're not able to get any movement at all going.
Broken back down here again. Stephen Stack hitting it ahead towards Maurice Fitzgerald, but that should favour Pat Holmes. He went down, took that one up. I'm not quite sure about the legality of the pickup. Gets away with it. Fergal Costello. Maurice Sheridan next. James Horan challenging in there with Liam Flaherty. Flaherty, as always, a tigerish figure at centre half back. Eamon Breen fumbles. Fortunate to see Darragh O'Shea alongside him. Seamus Moynihan says, throw it out to me. Does so. Great movement here by Seamus Moynihan. A wonderful player in full flight. Nallon stops him, however. This is Kenneth Mortimer starting very well indeed and claiming possession, and he gets it as well. Line ball. Straight to James Horan. Towards Liam McHale, making little impression so far, but he's got it this time. And you wonder, would Mayo consider bringing him out around midfield just to get things going? That time it's across towards David Nestor. Quick look up at the post, going for the point, but that's swung away to the left. Didn't even make the end line. Seamus Moynihan was there first. Now Eamon Breen for Kerry. Darragh O'Shea coming after this one. He's got Parlade in support to his left. This is Darragh Kinnaid instead. Kenneth Mortimer there for company. Trying to put in a telling challenge. O'Kinnaid does well. Straight to Parlade. Takes the return. Angling this one across, but that was always going to favour Colin McMenamin. Great movement in his play as ever. James Horan. There's a player down on the ground far side, and the referee spotted the player as well, and that was David Nestor. And the referee is calling back the ball there, and it's going to be a free in. Stephen Stack, the guilty party. So we have a jersey. That was the jersey being tugged back. That's the reason why the free is awarded. McHale has come back from a quick chat with his team manager. You wonder about possible switches. McHale has moved out towards midfield. No doubt about that. That has happened in the last few seconds. Stephen Stack being spoken to. Free to Mayo. Chance of their second score. Maurice Sheridan will be the taker. On the half hour, but we did lose 4 or 5 minutes because of that injury to Billy O'Shea. It's an easier kick than the one he scored a little while ago. This to put 3 between them and give Mayo some hope, and he's just about made it inside the left-hand post. A second point for Maurice Sheridan. But quite an indictment of Mayo in the first half, that's all they've been able to provide in the scoring department. It's 5 points to 2.
Liam McHale has now gone out to midfield, and Colin McMenamin has gone into full forward at the moment, and I presume he's going to roam out from there, but Lee McHale has been getting no ball so far.
Declan O'Keefe, a very thoughtful goalkeeper, kicking towards Darragh O'Shea, fisted down by Pat Fallon instead, but straight to Flaherty, over the head of Darragh O'Kennedy. Not a good ball for him. It was always favouring Kenneth Mortimer. Steady and assured play to Noel Kennelly, who's been a great captain over the last few years, but that's not a great pass. It's straight to Darragh O'Shea. Kennelly tries to get back to amend his own error, as it were. Hassett kicking, but woefully so, and away to the left. That's just the first wide, however, for Kerry, and they have 5 points on the board so far. And we've got some news now from the sideline and from Marty.
Yes, sir, just to tell you that Billy O'Shea has been taken away by ambulance to hospital. It is a leg injury, but he's in no distress whatsoever. He seems to be fine.
That's good to hear. Now in some distress right now is Kenneth Mortimer, and Dr. Frank Davey there in to attend to him. And having already lost Dermot Flanagan after 4 minutes, this is one player they could not afford to lose. Seamus Moynihan, by the way, has followed Colin McMenamin, and they're doing a mark-up on one another, as it were. At this stage, McMenamin is out around midfield, almost as a third midfielder. So it's the mentor is making the changes. Paudy going back to his particular place. Thankfully, no green benches here this afternoon. The kick out. Parlade was under it. The Tralee-based bank official going forward with great determination against 3 Mayo players. The pass inside to Liam Hassett. Nallen slow to close him down. Kennelly in chase as well. Good pace here. The Kerry fitness level is very high indeed. Into Parlade. Shades of the goal he got against Clare. Well, this time he fists it over. He did it also in the semi-final. And that's Parlade's second point. He got the first point of the match. He's got the latest. It's been a very good first half for the Kingdom.
Yes, great movement off the ball there by the Kerry forwards. Dragged the Mayo backs around and left the room then for Parlade to come onto this ball. And he's having much the better of the Mayo captain, Noel Kennelly, for the first half of this game.
So 4 between them.
James Nallen would want to tighten up on Liam Hassett there, because he's getting a lot of room too.
And Hassett is coming, as we said earlier, quite deep to take possession, and Nallen is staying back in a more central position behind him, but well behind him, as in here. That's too long and a poor ball for Johnny Crowley to have any chance of containing. Fergal Costello now at right corner back. Beyond Hassett that time. Picked up by Darragh O'Shea. Seamus Moynihan kicking towards Darragh O'Kennedy. Again, doing well here against Kenneth Mortimer. Thought about the layoff to Parlade. Instead, it's passed inside neatly. William Kirby kicking, but he's put it well to the left. Popping up from midfield into a scoring situation, and knows he might have got a 7th Kerry point. Short kick out taken. David Nestor way back. Mayo are looking so disjointed as this half wears on. I think the half-time break can't come quickly enough for them. Hassett. This time it's David Heaney. Now Colin McMenamin. Keeping it away, but not succeeding in keeping it away from Seamus Moynihan. Darragh O'Shea. Now Liam Hassett. Into space, William Kirby. Thinking of the one he missed perhaps. This time laying it off to Maurice Fitzgerald. Pat Holmes alongside him. He's almost toying with the fullback. That's a beautiful kick. That's superb skill. What a footballer. 4 points by Maurice Fitzgerald. 4 chances as well, and he's taken each and every one of them. Wonderful leadership.
Well, most of the Kerry points are coming from unforced errors by Mayo, who are kicking the ball away. Kerry aren't very good on the hand passing. William Kirby coming through there, could have gone on himself, but when you have a man like Maurice Fitzgerald, just give him the ball and he's able to do what nobody else can do, and that's just kick it over the bar.
Well, this game needs Mayo to come good pretty soon. We're into injury time, and the referee that time decides that the ball was fouled by Maurice Fitzgerald.
Kerry have too much time on the ball. That's the problem at the moment. They're making errors with too much time. Kerry, on the other hand, are forcing a lot of errors from Mayo with very, very tight tackling.
David Nestor lobbing it in. MacDonald very much the target man in there at this stage, and Maurice Sheridan's in trouble. I see him limping, calling for attention as Kerry take the ball down the field. Eamon Breen Well, if Mayo don't get some scores very quickly, they'll be very soon too far adrift to be able to put in any kind of second half challenge. That was Dennis O'Dwyer, not functioning all that terribly well at left half forward at the moment. Instead it's Kennelly towards the injured Maurice Sheridan. He stumbles towards it, he's free, and he's got a chance, and he's put it over, but he is limping and limping badly. A third point by Maurice Sheridan. He's their only scorer, and that's the only score from play they've had in the opening half. Just checking to make sure that there's maybe just a minute or two left. Otherwise he probably would have hobbled off to get some kind of medical attention.
Well, you'd nearly think that neither of these teams had played together before. The amount of errors is amazing around the middle of the field. Kerry with a good attack there and lost the ball very easy. And then the marking in the Kerry defence was absolutely awful, leaving Maurice Sheridan in behind. Even if he was injured, somebody should have been covering him, and he really should have put that one in the net.
Darragh O'Shea contesting here, doing well against Pat Fallon this afternoon. Kerry very definitely having that edge at midfield. Here's the other midfielder, William Kirby and Liam Hassett. Where is the marking? So poor. They need some leadership from the likes of Noel Kennelly now to fire them up as we approach half-time, and that's going to be a free for Kerry because Horan is protesting, but he's put his boot in as the Kerry back was in the act of picking it up, and that is not permitted. Flaherty kicking in towards Maurice Fitzgerald. Two men against Fitzgerald. This time it's Colin McMenamin. Going long towards Kieran MacDonald, but he's picked up very little in the last 20 minutes. This is William Kirby. Again, Kerry have the chance to build. Kirby towards Dennis O'Dwyer, popping up at left corner forward in stage against David Heaney. Going forward, carrying it on well, winning the free. They have an absolute mountain to climb if they're to get back into this match. But then there's only 4 points between them at this stage, prior to the free by Fitzgerald. And you know, a Mayo goal, and they'd be right back in business.
Yeah, Mayo looking very disorganised at the moment, giving the ball away almost every time. Kerry not doing a whole lot better with possession, but looking a bit sharper in attack. They could be really out of sight at this stage if they took all their chances.
Maurice Fitzgerald taking his chances. 5 points for the day so far. 5 kicks at the target as well, and they are very, very pleased, hoping that Sam will be heading back down to the southwest by tomorrow evening. Mayo created 11 scoring chances, have taken just 3. Kerry have had the exact same number of scoring chances, and as you see, they have taken 8 so far. Well into injury time. James Horan. Nice ball ahead to Colin McMenamin. Can he pop this one over the bar? Oh, that's unbelievable at this level. He has a wretched record of scoring in front of goal, but on a day like today, John Mahon would have expected him to easily put that over. He had space.
Well, the big difference so far, Jar, from my point of view, is that most of the top Kerry players are all playing well, whereas the big names on the Mayo team aren't really functioning at all. Darragh O'Shea is doing excellently in the middle of the field for Kerry. Most of the Mayo men like Liam McHale, James Nallen, Pat Fallon are very, very poor at the moment.
All the breaking ball being collected in midfield by Kerry. That's Flaherty annoyed with himself as he played that one off. It was a very difficult ball for Darragh O'Shea to contain, but he's done it very well. To Maurice Fitzgerald. Pat Holmes being told by referee Brian White that that's it for the first half. The referee played over 4.5 minutes of injury time, which was warranted because of the injury to Billy O'Shea. Kerry have been much the better team. They've looked sharper in front of goal. They've had more of a cohesion about them. And in Maurice Fitzgerald, they have the game's top scorer with 5 points after the opening 39 minutes or thereabouts. And so as the teams go in at half-time in this 108th All-Ireland football final, here's the position. It's Kerry 8 points, Mayo 3.
Martin Carney, can Mayo sort this out?
Certainly they can sort of provide a player start playing, but no player on the Mayo team has played anything in that first half. They're not winning breaking ball, they're not getting first to the ball, they're underperforming right throughout the pitch, and it's going to take a huge effort this half if they're to turn the game around.
OK, Tony Davis, I'm sorry, we will have to leave it there because the referee Brian White about to restart the second half. We rejoin Ger Canning.
So 5 points between the teams, which isn't a great amount, but as we've been saying, Mayo have underperformed. They haven't played at all well in the first half. 35 minutes to resolve that. Is the cup going to Connacht? Is it going to Munster this year? The famed Sam Maguire Cup. Darragh O'Shea has been magnificent in the first half alongside William Kirby, and it's Pat Fallon there and Liam McHale. Diarmuid Byrne, as you heard, is in as a sub. He's top of the left, and Darragh O'Shea wins the ball straight from the throw in. William Kirby. Too far for Maurice Fitzgerald, is it? No, he manages to just about keep it in play. Swings it back here towards Johnny Crowley. Kerry's sub on the first half, looking for the first point of the second. And this time it has gone wide. That's now a total of 3 wides for Kerry, 7 for Mayo. Kick out about to happen, and the kick-outs in the first half, they were rather interesting. Kerry won 9 of their 11 kick-outs, whereas Mayo won only 4 of their 9. This is Peter Burke. Heaney operating at right half back, beaten for it. Dennis O'Dwyer trying to get more into this game. William Kirby trying to keep Liam McHale away from it. McHale yet to turn it on in the Mayo colours this afternoon. Trying to win vital possession. James Nallen back to Pat Holmes, who had a very torrid opening 35 minutes of football here. Pat Fallon, who didn't play well in the first half, giving possession out there to David Heaney. Mayo building slowly. Horan kicking in ahead, over the head of Diarmuid Byrne. He was being pushed by Seamus Moynihan. Now who will take over as free taker? Will it be Kieran MacDonald? Shaping up like he will be the one to take the responsibility from Maurice Sheridan. So this is where Mayo hope to begin their comeback. Pressure for Kieran MacDonald, but it's a fairly routine kick, and that's his first point. Huge cheer from the Mayo fans, who are still not without hope, and only 4 points between the teams. 8 points for Kerry, 4 points for Mayo.
Well, Mayo, after playing so badly, it's amazing that they're within striking distance. It'll take a big effort from Mayo, and it'll take a lot of men with big hearts to bring them back into this game.
Declan O'Keefe playing in his 8th championship match, kicking this one out. One back again here by Parlade. Did some very useful work in the first half for Kerry against Noel Kennelly. Lade puts the head down, goes straight for the target. The angle shot in here. O'Dwyer is in after it. And where does it end up? It's taken well by the goalkeeper, Peter Burke. That's excellent goalkeeping. Faced with a real problem that time as that ball was coming in from Lade. Pat Holmes out here to Noel Kennelly, trying to get his team out of trouble. Liam McHale has it. Forward for Pat Fallon. Mayo beginning to motor. James Nallen, goal scorer against Kerry in the semi-final last year, almost stumbled. It's still Nallen, 22 metres out. McMenamin kicking in, but it's an awful pass ahead. David Nestor was looking for it, and there was another great goal chance presented to Mayo. A wonderful run through the centre by James Nallen.
With this long ball in, and most referees would give a free out in this case. Very, very good goalkeeping there by Peter Burke, with Dennis O'Dwyer coming in on that high ball.
The other custodian, Declan O'Keefe, about to take the kick out. Fallon jumping with Darragh O'Shea. He breaks it down this time, but only as far as the waiting Liam Flaherty. Finds a man loose. That's Parlade, attracting a couple of Mayo players to him. Can't get in the challenge, however. Poor ball from Lade, straight into the chest there of David Heaney. A number of players calling for it, wanting possession. He goes long. It's taken instead by Seamus Moynihan. That's a very good ball to Dennis O'Dwyer. The kick going away to the right-hand side. Kept in play there. Crowley trying to throw that one back towards Liam Hassett. It's Kenneth Mortimer instead, keeping his team very firmly in the hunt. Liam Hassett there being spoken to by the referee. But by and large, it's been one of those matches where the referee has had a pretty easy afternoon so far. That's because of the good spirit of the players. Here's Pat Fallon. Can he be the architect of Mayo's comeback? Nicely in towards McMenamin, but great handling there by Liam Flaherty. Back it goes towards Killian Burns. Just manages to get his kick in. And Dennis Edouard beat 2 Mayo players to that one and kept it away from a third, Liam McHale. This is William Kirby. Maurice Fitzgerald, Johnny Crowley, a possible target downfield. Nearer to him was William Kirby, doing an awful lot of wonderful selfless running. Now in a scoring situation, the Kerry midfielder shouldered, stumbling, and the referee says it was an unfair shoulder. And Pat Fallon has a bemused look on his face, and Kerry get the free in. A great run by Kirby.
Obviously, Kerry have decided too that they're going to leave Seamus Moynihan back in the full back line. He's playing in right full back and Killian Burns is out at left half back. Normally you would think it would be the other way around.
Maurice Fitzgerald getting Kerry's first. So as you were at the break, Kerry continuing to lead by 5 points. And we've got some news from the sideline now from Marty.
Just to note, Ger, that Willie Kirby got an injection in his shoulder at half-time, and he seemed to be extremely doubtful. But Paddy O'Shea gave him a bit of a pep talk and said, "You're doing this one for Kerry." So just keep an eye on Willie's shoulder.
He's doing very well so far. Back in the hunt again, linking up with Darragh O'Shea. They have a very good partnership. Criticised after the Munster final. Well, they're playing well this afternoon in the really big one here. Maurice Fitzgerald taking it on, and the man he's taking on, Pat Holmes. A kick by Fitzgerald that sails over the bar. Everything he does this afternoon is producing something positive, and that lady and those fans there are mighty pleased, Kerry people. Fitzgerald with 7 points. It's a wonderful contribution, and the lead has stretched.
Any doubts, Ger, about the temperament of Maurice Fitzgerald to do it on the big day are dispelled. An incredible display here of the most skillful footballer probably ever to play in Croke Park. But why are Mayo leaving Pat Holmes on him?
Yes, at this stage you probably would be considering that Kenneth Mortimer should be taking up that responsibility. Instead it's Mortimer against Darragh O'Cinada. O'Cinada kicking it in, seeking out Maurice Fitzgerald. Holmes beaten for pace. And Maurice Fitzgerald still with possession, toying almost with the Mayo backline. Mortimer did well. That's a switch I wonder if they may consider. Into Liam McHale. James Nallen saying, "Give it to me." An accurate punt ahead to Pat Fallon. Trying to take it around Darragh O'Shea, who was not outfoxed, and the referee saw the foul by Fallon, who stretched in the boot that time to try and dispossess O'Shea. And the linesman here was Brian Crowe from Cavan, getting Darragh to bring it back onto the correct position. 65 metres out, in towards Liam Hassett. Again, it's David Heaney back there, trying to help the Mayo cause, trying to build something with Liam McHale involved in the move. The hand pass to Noel Kennelly, and again Flaherty got in a good timely shoulder. Parlade is in there, picked up very well by the fullback Barry O'Shea. Out to William Kirby. The Tralee man kicks it in deep. Great ball in, picked up here by Johnny Crowley. Here's a goal chance, and again it's stopped by the goalkeeper. Superb goalkeeping by Peter Burke. That's 2 certain goals he's averted during the second half, which is only 8 minutes old. Kerry were seeking to put Mayo out of sight in this final. Instead, it's McMenamin trying to be the provider this time. McHale was calling for it. They go along towards David Nestor, and it's taken chest high by Killian Burns. Very assured play by the cornerback, and a good ball out to William Kirby. It was Darragh O'Shea who was prominent in the first half, Kirby in the second, and Johnny Crowley again. Where's the marking again, you wonder? And an easy one, unchallenged by the substitute. Johnny Crowley's first point.
Well, the reason for that is Johnny Crowley is now playing at centre forward. James Nallen went on a long run up the field, didn't get back. Kerry broke up the attack and got the ball quickly down to John Crowley, who takes a very easy point. Mayo must put the ball dead when they get it up if their half-backs are going to be moving up in attack.
Kerry 11, Mayo 4. It's something you said earlier, Colin, when they had to take Dermot Flanagan off. Every line of the Mayo team was disrupted by that one move.
Yes, and they're playing like that, still totally disorganised and getting no ball in the middle of the field, really.
Referee holding up the play, and John Mahon has worked so hard after the last few years to try and build an All-Ireland winning team. Went so close last year. McHale against Darragh O'Shea in the throw ball situation, and the taller man winning in this instance. Putting it out here to James Horan. This is where they need his inspiration, like he produced last year with 8 marvellous points in 2 games, to McMenamin, and this time he puts it over the bar. His first point of the day, and they need an awful lot more where that came from. There's still a huge portion of this game still to play if Mayo are good enough.
James Horan did very well there, getting it off to Colin McMenamin. And after missing a few scores earlier, he had to be brave to go for that one. Could have even put his head down and gone for a goal, I think, in that position, because it looks as if Mayo might need to get a goal to win this game.
I think you can be certain of that at this stage. McHale coming to gather. Lovely catch. Pat Fallon. He's got some latitude here. Darragh O'Shea's chasing after him. It's still Fallon, 20 metres out. And he's hit it off the post. Back to Seamus Moynihan. And Kerry breathe a huge sigh of relief. That should have been a score. This is Dennis O'Dwyer instead on the counter-attack for Kerry. Now Maurice Fitzgerald. Wonderfully assured play, but the pass that time just going over the head of Liam Hassett, taken by James Nallen instead. That's James Horan into the corner. Playing in the corner there is David Nestor right now. Out it comes to Stephen Stack. Jersey pulled initially. Referee says play on. Eamon Breen getting his kick downfield. Liam Hassett being challenged there by Fergal Costello. It's won back here by Pat Holmes. Liam McHale, again the hand pass towards David Nestor, and toe poked away by Killian Burns to his team captain Liam Hassett, holding it up. Hassett now been marked by Pat Holmes in a switch they've made in the last few minutes. Going by Holmes, kicking from about 25 metres out, but he puts it to the right. Kerry's 4th wide. A player who'll be hoping to take the Sam Maguire Cup back with him for Paddy's team. Paddy still very much on his feet and calling out the instructions, looking a bit edgy. So Liam McHale then committing the foul, free to Kerry in midfield. Eamon Breen will be the taker. Dennis O'Dwyer doing well in the second half against David Heaney, and he wins the free, and Maurice Fitzgerald about to come out and take it. Kerry have gone their longest spell ever in their history in football without an All-Ireland title, and this man about to take the free, one of the most talented players they've ever produced, and yet to win that elusive medal. 4 out of 4 from his frees so far in this match. They're packed into the canal end, watching every movement that Maurice Fitzgerald makes. So this popular teacher from Cahasaveen, the 27-year-old, about to hit this one just inside the 45-metre line. He swings it well. Has it gone insufficiently? Not quite. First one he's missed this afternoon. Arguably the pick of the bunch so far was that one he hit from an acute angle in the first half with his left boot from a free. That was an absolute beauty. And Peter Burke has certainly not let the side down this afternoon, having made 2 great saves. One of those players who's played championship without ever having played in the National League. Darragh O'Shea coming to try and catch. He drops it down, and that's enough to allow Pat Fallon and Colin McMenamin to try and build something. Again, McMenamin goes long, and a chance perhaps presenting itself there. Diarmuid Byrne was the player, and it's a penalty. Mayo have got a break. Barry O'Shea deemed to have pulled down Diarmuid Byrne. It looked pretty innocuous, I must say. And Paddy O'Shea won't be one bit happy. But it's a lifeline for Mayo. We'll get a chance again in a moment perhaps to see the incident. It's going to be Kieran MacDonald who would take it. His side are 6 points behind. We are now just 14, nearly 15 minutes into the second half. Declan O'Keefe is poised. He's studied penalties, I can tell you, in the past of Mayo players. But I think he was expecting if there was a penalty, it would be Sheridan. It's MacDonald instead. And he's cracked it home. Mayo are right back in the this All-Ireland final. 15 minutes into the second half. The West is awake. Mayo are back. That was a brilliantly taken penalty by Kieran MacDonald, hit with precision to the goalkeeper's left and right into the corner. A dream kick.
Fabulous penalty kick by Kieran MacDonald, a player who's going badly, and it took a great nerve to do that. Harmless looking penalty. We'd like to see that one again.
3 points separate the teams. Mayo, who are almost dead and buried, looking rudderless, lacking cohesion, are back in the hunt. Now what will be the Kerry reaction to that? Pat Fallon, again trying to build from a deep position. Carried forward with pace. Heaney coming up from wing back, trying to engineer something. Back towards James Horan, and he's kicked another one. It's gone over the bar. James Horan, a man for the big occasion, if ever there were one. His first point today, but his 9th point in All-Ireland finals. That's a vital one, because now the margin is down to 2 points. Well, we did say that if Mayo got a goal, they'd be back in it, and
yes,
that's the situation.
That's a great kick from James Horan, who kicked similar points to that in last year's final. Now we have a real match.
Colin McMenamin has picked up the kick out, trying to take it forward again and trying to torment Flaherty. Here's the kick. Horan again kicking, and again he lands a beauty. 2 in a row from James Horan. The All-Ireland final is firmly alive. There's a point in it, and John Mahon and his lads have got a lifeline, and Horan has begun to play. I think he's giving the answer to the mentors who omitted him in the first place.
James Horan is a big game player. He showed that in last year's final, came into it without much of a reputation, left with a big one, didn't play well this year, but now he's brought Mayo back into this final.
Pat Fallon contesting in midfield, keeping it away from Darragh O'Shea. This time it's David Heaney advancing. Colin McMenamin has it. Mayo now looking for the equaliser. Didn't look on about 3 minutes ago. In towards David Nestor. A chance to kick one here. Oh, has he got it right? He's put it to the left, and it's in play still. O'Keefe back to Seamus Moynihan. Kerry have persisted with Moynihan back in that full back line. Perhaps his influence is needed out around the half back line. Liam Hassett, he's won a lot of possession. Parlate kicking again with that trusty left boot down towards Darragh O'Kinneida, who's had very little possession in the second half, thanks to the marking there of Kenneth Mortimer. James Nellen now, again Liam McHale, so much happier out around midfield. Didn't look himself at all when he was in the fringe of the small rectangle. McMenamin in towards the penalty kicker, Kieran MacDonald. And really, in the end, a kind of nothing pass ahead, favouring absolutely nobody bar the Kerry goalkeeper. Moynihan kicking out towards Liam Hassett, who was being well marked. And John Mahon is over there on the sideline to give it back to his team quickly. He's urging them on. That lady there is urging her team on as well. All the Mayo fans believe they can now bridge the 46-year gap. But we have 17 minutes to go. And again, possession kicked away there from the sideline. And Diarmaid Byrne and some of the others wondering just why that was such an inaccurate punt ahead. John Casey looking ruefully there at his team captain Noel Kennelly.
It's a bad mistake by Noel Kennelly. Kerry very much under pressure at the moment, and they're getting a chance to reorganise.
Well, we're about to have another change, and that looks to be Donald Daly is coming in. What change that they're going to make? William Kirby is going off. As you heard, he had to get an injection on a shoulder injury at half-time, so he is off. He certainly played his part during that match. So Daly has come on. In midfield, it's hoofed forward there by Eamon Breen towards Maurice Fitzgerald. The kick ahead quickly to Dennis O'Dwyer. Kerry now at the other end trying to build. Liam Hassett looking for a goal, trying to get something in there. Appeals that he was being swung around back in towards Darragh O'Kinneida, slightly off balance, and he's put it to the left. Kerry's fifth wide. They were looking so menacing as they built that time. Kick-outs taken quickly to Pat Fallon. What a transformation in this match. But still Kerry ahead by just a point. Fallon will take the free kick. James Horan, the man who was very hot just at this particular phase of the game, and whooshed out over the sideline by Eamon Breen.
Kerry should have taken an easy point there to get things settled down.
Breen towards Maurice Fitzgerald, now coming out around the 40, taking Pat Holmes out with him. Dennis O'Dwyer getting the control on the ball, the pass to Fitzgerald. Again, the big one, really going for it, and he's put it away to the right-hand side. A couple have gone astray from him now in the second half. I remember down in Limerick, he missed a few in the Munster final, and we were waiting to do the interviews afterwards, and Paddy said to him before we could talk, Maurice, we asked you to bring a number 9 iron with you today, and Maurice said, I know, Paddy, I brought the driver instead. Kerry's last score, 8 minutes, you know, in the second half, scored by Johnny Crowley, taken down by Darragh O'Shea, and he is held back by Liam McHale. Free is quickly taken into the man who's now in there in the full forward line, Liam Hassett, and again, he's missed this one. Are they kicking the final away? That's what the Kingdom fans are now wondering, I'm sure.
Well, Kerry are now showing that they can score as many bad wides as Mayo did the first half, running up a series there when they need a point just to settle them down.
14 minutes to go. And the wind is picking up. It's favouring Kerry. And the last 5 shots there have been 5 wides. Heaney trying to restore a bit of order to Mayo, flicked away there by Maurice Fitzgerald, and the linesman right on the spot to see it. Heaney will be the taker, the youngster, in over the head of Flaherty. Casey trying to go for it and really not making much of an attempt to get it. Instead, it's the stout-hearted Eamon Breen who belts it back defiantly. Fisted by Nallen, won by Kennelly. Can he inspire this side to come back into the match? Colin McMenamin in towards the man who's got in there, David McByrne. Oh, that's going to be a free out. Doesn't count. I think he was hoping perhaps to be wrestled down a second time, although I must say the challenge that felled him for the penalty looked terribly innocuous. But they all count. Mayo scored it after 15 minutes, and they're right back in the chase for the Sam once again. Declan O'Keefe about to take this free for Kerry. Pat Fallon under it, great catch, taking it down with some style. He's negatived the influence of Darragh O'Shea during the second half. That's been very noticeable. Again, the referee may opt to throw the ball in, but he's waving it as though it's going to be a Kerry free kick. Liam McHale, the player, and indeed it is a Kerry kick. The player pulled down was Darragh O'Shea. Stephen Stack about to take the free. Maurice Fitzgerald coming, jumping ahead there, taking a wonderful catch ahead of Pat Holmes. Morris, nice control, lovely style. The referee saw the jersey being dragged back. The innocent look on the face of Pat Holmes says it all, but there's also a little smile there. It's going to be a free to Kerry, and Maurice Fitzgerald has scored 7 points so far in this match. I think 5 points from frees out of 6 attempts so far.
Maurice Fitzgerald showing today too that he can win his own ball, getting up in front there on several occasions, most noticeably that time getting up in front of Pat Holmes and winning it cleanly. But Kerry need a point badly.
When he's needed it today, he's shown us a streak of aggression which has been necessary, and from the frees, as always, he's near perfect. Another one, 8 points in all for Maurice Fitzgerald, and Kerry flags, and indeed I see a Brazilian flag in there as well, flying triumphant.
It'd be a good time now, Ger, I think, for Kerry to be bringing on Michael Francis Russell. The game has loosened up, and he's the sort of player who could do a bit of damage.
2 between them. Yes, Mike Frank with the point and goal touch. Eamon Breen just getting it back towards Liam Flaherty. The race won out here by Kenneth Mortimer, setting up Colin McMenamin. Players moving to the right, to the left of him. And in the end, He fouls the ball and it's going to be a free downfield. Just when Mayo had the chance to do something with it, a lapse of concentration. He hopped the ball too many times. Maurice Fitzgerald trying to break it down to himself. He really has been annoying the Mayo backs all afternoon. They've been unable to stay with him. Denis O'Dwyer trying to profit, but the kick is a poor one. Johnny Crowley coming back to take up his position there. He's now operating at centre half forward, being marked by James Nallon. Frank Russell being prepared, and he will be in, I think, for the last 10 minutes of this. Mayo coming forward, Nallon. Again, it's the point scorer James Horan, but this time he swings it instinctively, but he's booted it up into the canal end and wide of the target. And Frank Russell has just come in to give the little slip of paper to the referee. And we wait to see just who's about to make way. It looks like it's going to be Dara O'Kineda. So Dara O'Kineda goes, Mike Frank is on.
Well, Kenneth Mortimer is after seeing off Dara O'Kineda twice now in big games in Croke Park, but Michael Francis Russell is a different type of player altogether.
Great catch by Dara O'Shea, just when Kerry needed it. It's taken away from the attentions of Pat Fallon. This is Donald Daly, the second sub to be introduced by Kerry this afternoon. Liam Hassett. They need another score here just to settle the nerves a little bit. Remember, there are only two between them, and Pat Fallon has won it back again. Nicely forward here. Fergal Costello tearing through the heart of the Kerry defence. He got a great point in the semi-final, but this time he tries to link up with MacDonald when he perhaps should have gone for the score himself. He was about 25 metres out. Seamus Moynihan kicking it to the totally unmarked Donald Daly. Fallon is standing back from him. In towards Mike Frank Russell it comes. First ball, first possession against Kenneth Mortimer. The hand pass to Paul Lade. His marker standing back from him somewhat, and Lade comes forward. Here's a goal chance, and again the goalkeeper does wonderfully well. Peter Burke denies Denis O'Dwyer, and Kerry will have felt they might have got a third goal there. Wonderful goalkeeping by Peter Burke. James Nallon coming tearing down the field, trying to give the leadership, linking up with David Nestor, trying to hold off the attentions of Killian Burns, his marker. Still David Nestor. Players showing great pride in the county colours. Eamon Breen, none better. Three Mayo players there against Mike Frank Russell. Coming out to try and win this is Kenneth Mortimer. In the end, it's going to be a sideline ball for Mayo. There's wonderful pace in this match. I make it about 7 minutes to go. Pat Fallon. James Nallon just ahead of him there, didn't receive the pass. It'll be a free to Mayo instead. Liam Hassett standing over the injured player. And Mayo about to make another change. And coming in for Mayo, PJ Loftus, the man who's got goals in the past when they were badly, badly needed. Remember the All-Ireland final last year? Remember the game against Galway in Tuam last May?
Well, if Mayo win this final, they'll certainly put up a statue to Peter Burke in Kiltimagh after
David
three
Nestor's
brilliant saves that he has made in this game.
It'll be Pat Fallon to take the free. David Nestor's gone off. So now Mayo have shown us their full hand. All three subs have been introduced. And Colin McMenamin was wrestled down to the ground by Flaherty, free into Mayo. So this to put one between them. Kieran MacDonald, scorer of a goal and a point so far. The goal from a penalty after 15 minutes of the second half. Again, a real pressure kick here. Oh, he's put it low and straight into the waiting arms of Stephen Stack. Out to Seamus Moynihan. Moynihan down to Dara O'Shea. Oh, that was a glorious chance for Mayo to have put the minimum between the teams. Maurice Fitzgerald rising up for it, but the break of the ball favours Mayo this time. Nallon onto Noel Kennelly. Kennelly was pulled back by Liam Hassett. Free kick for Mayo. And the referee wants a little word with Liam Hassett, and they play away over there, but the notebook's out and Hassett has his name taken. He's the only player in the final so far to have been booked by referee Brian White. I think the referee decided in the end his patience was wearing a bit thin, and Hassett had been guilty of persistent dragging players back. Free is taken. The break favouring Kerry this time. Dara O'Shea towards Johnny Crowley. Challenged by Fergal Costello, showing tenacity now, the man operating at left corner back. Mayo have a player down on the ground injured. They're down to 14 effectively right now. The kick inside by McMenamin, in towards Diarmuid Byrne. Barry O'Shea into MacDonald, it comes. Oh, the pass back into space, and Kerry get a chance to get the ball away. Still the pressure on the Kerry backline. Byrne kicking it in, but very much off balance, and the ball has gone wide.
Great chance for Mayo there. Could have ended up in the net. But down at the other end, we had seen Peter Burke pulling off a couple of incredible saves. And I suppose none more so than that last one from Dennis Dwyer. Point blank save, got down very well, smothered the shot.
The kick out this time will be for Kerry and for Declan O'Keefe. Just over 4 minutes to go. That's held well by Eamon Breen, operating most effectively at right half back. A line ball coming up here for Mayo. One of those matches where you can't take your eyes off the screen for a second. Paddy O'Shea in the background, looking concerned and worried. James Horan about to kick. Dropped in, Flaherty coming across. He's so tough, very strong, takes up good positions. It comes out to Breen once more, relieving the pressure on his defence with a long kick towards Johnny Crowley. This is parlayed, others stood back. Lade showed his pace, it's still parlayed. Pat Holmes trying to keep it away from the danger zone. It's Kenneth Mortimer for Mayo. Can they build now from their own end line virtually? Again, it's their magnificent goalkeeper Peter Burke here. Now Pat Holmes out to Fergal Costello. They pick out MacDonald, but they really need him in front of goal right now. He's out around the middle of the field being chased by Stephen Stack. The kick into space, on it goes here. A chance perhaps of a late score, and that's gone away to the right there. PJ Loftus' first contribution to kick the wide. My goodness, they've had chances. There was that free, there was that last chance there, and Kerry continue to hang on here by their fingertips.
Well, this is the game of misses, none more so than this one. But credit to Peter Burke. But there was a free Kerry man in front of the goals. Poor option taken there by Dennis O'Dwyer.
Mayo have 12 wides in this match. Kerry just 8. Pat Fallon. Are Mayo to be losers for the second year in a row? There's just about 2 minutes to go. They're 2 points behind. Pat Fallon trying to hold on to it. And Eamon Breen adjudged to have fouled him. It'll be a free from just outside the 13-metre line. Well, MacDonald is coming to take it again. Kieran MacDonald having missed the last one, or is it John Casey? Perhaps Casey will leave it there for the number 13. He's got 2 out of 4 frees so far. This is much more difficult than the one he missed, which was more or less in front of goal, but which he mishit. Again, huge pressure. Cheering on the canal end. And again, he's missed it. Such a high pressure occasion. And he's so disappointed, John Mahon. Right now, they could be level.
Yes, Kieran MacDonald guilty of 2 very bad misses from frees. After fluffing the first one, he probably should have taken that one from his hands.
Kerry have scored just 4 points in the second half so far. But that will not matter. They've over 1 minute and 15 of actual playing time still to go. Possession now absolutely vital. Dennis O'Dwyer cops a high one there after he took possession. He was fouled by PJ Loftus, and the animated Paddy O'Shea over there. All of the selectors in near the perimeter of the field here. And Dave Gainey, the team doctor, about to come in to attend to Dennis O'Dwyer, who got possession very well, but took a hefty challenge then from PJ Loftus, and he was the player, of course, who was forced out of the semi-final because of a very heavy knock. This is what happened. A high elbow, really.
Yes, a very high elbow there by PJ Loftus, and Dennis Dwyer had done very, very well to win that ball. A vital kick out to win for Kerry. Kerry need to just defend in depth now with time running out.
Just taking a look at the scoring chances created by both sides this afternoon, Colm, and it's interesting, they've created identical tallies, 25 chances created by each team. Kerry has taken 12, Mayo just 8.
Some of the wides that Mayo have had, of course, have been absolutely incredible. Easy frees, straight in front of the goals. And there you have Dennis Dwyer getting injured again, very bravely winning that ball.
So Aoife Nihuri going in to attend to him alongside Dave Gainey. And they were very concerned after the semi-final because it was a very hefty knock on the ground that he received that day. Everybody looking so expectant and tense. People looking very edgy. We're well into injury time. Kerry aware that a late chance presenting itself to Mayo for a possible goal, and Mayo will be there to take it. So now it's at the discretion of the referee. Darragh O'Shea kicking this one. And again the Mayo defence trying to block it out somehow. Out by Fergal Costello, out to Noel Kennelly, trying to construct a move. Heaney was beaten for Fretz. Flaherty kept his eyes on the ball the whole time, was very assured, and that's going to be a free downfield to take some further pressure off. Maurice Fitzgerald, inevitably the one who engineers the free.
Yes, and Maurice should try and kick this one for a point or kick it wide, get the ball out of play, waste more time. But again, Noel Kennelly with a very bad foot pass there, giving the ball away to Liam Flaherty when he should have been setting up a Mayo attack.
So Maurice Fitzgerald kicks this one deep, right in there, and it's gone over the bar, and that's surely now going to ensure that Kerry at the very least don't lose here this afternoon. Fitzgerald has got 9 points and it's all over, and Kerry have won back the All-Ireland title after a gap of 11 years. Champions last in 1986. They have just won their 31st All-Ireland title, and Maurice Fitzgerald was superb. 9 points out of a winning tally, and he has a big smile on his face, smiles among the fans as well. The gap has been bridged. The famine, as they say, is at an end for Kerry. They celebrate, well they might, and Kerry fans everywhere trying to get out onto Croke Park because Kerry have won back the Sam Maguire Cup. The centre of attention very firmly is Maurice Fitzgerald. They just scored 5 points in the second half, but that was enough in a tight enough finish. Fitzgerald got 6 out of 7 from frees this afternoon, and he got 3 out of 4 from play. So a wonderful average, and Paddy O'Shea has done it. He has masterminded their victory in the 97 championship. Kerry are on top of the pile once again, and defeat is Mayo's lot for the second year in a row. Fate can be so cruel, but Mayo made an awful start. They got right back into it with a penalty after 15 minutes of the second half, converted splendidly by Kieran MacDonald. But Kerry had aces, none greater than Maurice Fitzgerald. Killian Burns, I'm sure that accordion or the box will get a lash tonight at the victory celebrations. And Kerry will be travelling by air back to Farranfore tomorrow night. And what a reception they can expect when they reach Tralee. So many people down there